All right, so let's take a look at flexion and extension of the spinal column. And so that's a natural range of motion for our spine, and we want to preserve the fact that that spine can bend and extend in a unloaded situation. You have 24 segments of your vertebrae from your lumbar to your thoracic spine, and each segment of those regions are responsible for movement. And so we want to focus on the flexion and extension components so that we can make sure that you have good mobility at the spine and good segmental control in those areas. So I'm using a bench, but you are more than welcome to utilize the ground with a mat under your feet. So I'm going to want you to get on all fours here. And what we're going to focus on here before I show you the actual exercise is flexion and extension. But I want you to start it and finish it at the lower back. So for example, this is me in a neutral position, right? And I'm going to want to round out the back. Where am I going to start? I'm going to start from the lower back to the middle back to the upper back to my neck until I'm in full flexion. And now for me to get back into extension, where am I going to start? From the lower back again. So what I'll do here is I'll start straightening out or arching or extending on the lower back and then going up to the middle back, not having my neck move, and working up the upper back, the thoracic region, and then I can take my head into extension, but not hyperextension. So that's the goal. It's going to be very hard. You'll find it very easy to move this area, and you'll find that there's probably minimal or no movement happening in the upper back, but mostly in the chest. So we want to make sure that you're focusing on the thoracic spine. Now in this position here, in terms of shoulder position, you got to have a little bit of protraction so that your shoulder blades are flat to the rib cage. But you don't want to be going through this range of motion and it's actually your neck that's doing it in terms of you're rounding out, your neck is dropping, and there's really no motion at the upper back or the spine. So you want to make sure that you're moving and your neck is moving consistently with the rest of the spine as you're going through that range of motion. So now the last thing we want to focus on is the breathing component. So when you're in the rounded position here and you take a deep breath, you're going to have an expansion of your stomach and of your back, your rib cage. So you want to breathe in this fashion with your diaphragm. So you feel an expansion of the rib cage in your back and your stomach. Now, as you go into extension and you're exhaling, okay, you want to pull in as hard as you can towards your spine. So remember that, that's the whole sequence. Let's put it into motion here. So I'm going to start from the lower back, I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to try to make this all come together.